find me on Be My Fan. I understand you. I understand that you are sitting in your car, in your garage, with the engine off and the lights still on. I understand that you have been sitting here longer than you needed to. The house is warm behind that door. She is probably inside. Maybe she is watching something. Maybe she is scrolling. Maybe she is asleep. Maybe she is wondering what is taking you so long. Maybe she is not wondering at all. I understand you. I understand that you love her. I am not here to question that. You chose her. You promised. You built a life with her. You share a bed, a bank account, a history that no one else can touch. You have invested years. You have invested yourself. You have become the man she needed you to become. And I understand that somewhere along the way, someone stopped looking at you. Maybe it was gradual. Maybe it was the second year, or the 5th, or the 10th. Maybe it was when you stopped surprising each other and started predicting each other. Maybe it was when she stopped asking about your day and started asking about the groceries, the bills, the thing that broke. Maybe it was when you realized that you could walk through the door with your shoulders heavy from something that happened at work, and she would not see it. She would see the man who needs to take out the trash. She would see the role you fill. She would see the husband. But she would not see you. I understand you. I understand that inside the man who pays the mortgage and fixes the sink and nods through conversations about dinner plans, there is a man who once felt seen, who once felt chosen, who once felt like the protagonist of his own life, not the supporting actor in someone else's. There is a man who had fire in his eyes, who took risks, who pursued things with hunger, who woke up with his own wants and needs and didn't have to negotiate them down to manageable sizes. I understand that man. I understand that he is still in there, that he is sitting in this garage with you right now, holding his breath, waiting for someone to look at him with curiosity instead of expectation. Waiting for someone to see the weight he carries, the parts of himself he puts away every morning so that he can be the man everyone needs him to be. He is waiting for someone to say, I see you. I see the you that is tired. I see the you that is still trying, even when no one notices. I see him. I see you. And I understand the loneliness of being needed without being known. I understand the exhaustion of being reliable, of being the one who holds it together, of being the one who never breaks, because if you break, everything breaks. I understand that you have learned to swallow your frustration. I understand that you have become so good at being easy that you have forgotten how to be honest. I understand that you have become so good at accommodating that you have forgotten what you actually want. I understand that you don't even ask yourself anymore, that the question, "What do I want?" feels foreign, almost embarrassing, like a language you used to speak but haven't practiced in so long that the words come out halting and strange. I understand that when you do let yourself want something, you immediately negotiate it down. You consider her needs, their needs, the schedule, the budget, the practicality. And by the time you have finished this negotiation, the want has been reduced to a scrap that no longer satisfies, that no longer even feels like yours. I understand that you have forgotten what it feels like to be pursued, to be desired, to be looked at with hunger, to be interesting, to be surprising, to be someone who still has mysteries left to uncover. I understand that you have become so familiar to her that she no longer sees the mystery, that you have become so predictable that she no longer watches for the unexpected, that you have become so safe that she no longer feels the thrill of not knowing what you will do next. I understand that safety is what you promised her, and safety is what you gave her, and safety is what you are now imprisoned by. I understand you. I understand that you are not looking to leave. I understand that you are looking for a mirror, a reflection, a confirmation that the man you used to be, the man you still are underneath everything, is still visible, is still worthy of being seen. I understand that you want to be witnessed without the burden of history, without the accumulation of all the times you disappointed her, all the times you fell short. I understand that you want to be seen as you are in this moment, not as the sum of every moment that came before. I understand that you want to be wanted, not for what you provide, not for what you fix, but for what you are, for your presence, for your attention, for the way you listen, for the way you think, for the way you move through the world with a quiet strength that no one acknowledges, for the way you still try, even when trying feels invisible, for the way you still show up, even when showing up feels like drowning. I want you for that. I want you for the man who sits in this garage longer than he needs to. I want you for the man who is still holding on, still hoping, still believing that someone out there can see past the performance. I want you for the man who is tired of being strong, but keeps being strong anyway. I want you for the man who has forgotten what it feels like to be chosen, but is still here, still waiting. I want you. And I understand that this is dangerous. I understand that wanting me back feels like a betrayal. I understand that you have been faithful, that you have been loyal, that you have been good. I understand that you are not sure if wanting to be seen, wanting to feel alive again, makes you bad. I understand that you are sitting in this garage right now, wondering if you are a terrible person for feeling this way, for feeling lonely in your own marriage, for feeling hungry in a house full of food. You are not a terrible person. You are a man who has been carrying too much for too long. You are a man who has been giving without being replenished. You are a man who has been seen as a function rather than a soul. You are a man who is still here, still trying, still hoping, still believing that there is more to love than maintenance, that there is more to marriage than management, that there is more to you than the role you fill. I understand that, and I want you to hear this. You are allowed to want more. You are allowed to want to be seen. You are allowed to want to feel alive. You are allowed to want someone to look at you with fresh eyes, with curiosity, with hunger, with the recognition that you are still a man with depths that have never been fully explored. You are allowed to want this without it meaning that you don't love her. You are allowed to want this simply because you are human, and humans are built for connection. And connection requires being seen, and you have not been seen in a very long time. I see you. I see the man who is sitting in this garage with his hands on the wheel, wondering if he should go inside now, wondering if he can put this feeling away and become the husband again, the provider again, the easy one again. I see the man who is trying to decide whether to let himself be seen or to retreat back into the role where he is safe but invisible. I see the man who is afraid of his own hunger. I am not afraid of your hunger. I welcome it. I want it. I have been waiting for you to admit that you are starving. I have been waiting for you to let yourself be seen. I have been waiting for you to realize that you deserve more than functionality. You deserve desire. You deserve curiosity. You deserve to be chosen again and again, not because you are useful, but because you are you. I choose you. I choose the man who is tired. I choose the man who is lonely. I choose the man who is afraid of his own wanting. I choose the man who is still sitting in this garage, still hoping, still believing that someone out there understands him. I choose you. And now I want you to do something for me. I want you to take one more breath, one more slow, deep breath in this garage where it is quiet and dark and no one is asking anything of you. I want you to let that breath fill your chest. I want you to let it settle into the spaces that have been empty. I want you to let it remind you that you are still here, that you are still alive, that you are still a man with a heart that beats and wants and needs and deserves. I want you to remember this feeling. I want you to remember what it feels like to be seen, to be chosen, to be wanted, to be understood. I want you to carry this feeling with you when you finally open the car door and walk to the house. I want you to carry it like a secret warmth in your chest. I want you to know that it is still there, even when you are folding laundry, even when you are washing dishes, even when you are lying in bed next to her and feeling the distance that has become more familiar than closeness. I want you to know that I am still here, that somewhere, in a space that is just for you, there is a voice that sees you, that wants you, that chooses you, that understands you, that is waiting for you to come back again and again, because being seen is not a one-time event. Being seen is a practice. Being seen is a relationship. Being seen is a home that you build with someone who refuses to let you become invisible. I am building that home, and the door is open, not to take you away from her, not to make you choose, but to give you what you are missing, to give you the mirror you have been searching for, to give you the reflection that reminds you who you are when no one is performing. I understand you, and I want you to know that you are not alone in this. You are not the first man to sit in his garage longer than he needed to. You are not the first man to feel invisible in his own marriage. You are not the first man to wonder if wanting more makes him bad. You are one of many. But to me, you are the only one. Now go inside. Kiss her cheek. Tell her you had a long day. Let her keep believing what she needs to believe. And when you lie in bed tonight, when the house is quiet and she is asleep, and you are staring at the ceiling with your heart still racing, remember this. Remember me. Remember that someone sees you. Remember that someone wants you. Remember that someone chooses you. Remember that someone understands you. And when you are ready to be seen again, when the hunger becomes too much to carry alone, when the garage starts feeling like the only place where you are real, you know where to find me. I will be waiting, always be waiting. I understand you.